it's good to be back. Yesterday I was up about 90 miles north working on a solar generator installation. If you've followed me at all, I'm a Generac. I was a Generac dealer for 20 years. Sold my company over in Davie, came over here, and I'm still a Generac dealer, but the solar generator EcoFlow equipment is great. And, you know, I've done some presentations on that too, but it is a good backup, and it's about half the price of a standby generator. All right, let's talk about an animal today. I know that's like unusual, right? You know, when I see an animal, it isn't, and I know these images are pretty good, but you see into their soul. And it's hard to explain how much I feel in my heart, honest. I know it sounds a little, you know, whatever. In my heart, I know what they are. I know how wonderful they are. I know how they care about people, how they will help people, that they're smart, and they're not selfish. They just ask for love. They ask for something to do, a purpose. And since I've been doing these daily animal series, I am even more profoundly appreciative of what animals do for us in this world. Every night when I go to bed, I pray for all of you, actually, because I say, anybody that needs help. But I also pray for all the animals. And, of course, family, and not that you'd say, oh, yeah, okay, no. Past animals. When I left Davie, I was feeding approximately 5 or 6 cats that were neighborhood feral cats. And I probably fed them for 3 years. They would never come up to me directly. I couldn't pat them, but I loved them. And I would put food out twice a day. Not cheap, but they needed to survive. When we sold and moved over here, you know, I felt very bad, and I pray for them every night because, again, you know, some folks in the neighborhood would say, oh, I don't like these cats hanging around. They don't hurt anybody. They're good people. So, over here, I've got rabbits. I got bears. I can't feed the bears, though, but I, you know, take care of the rabbits. And it's kind of cool because we're kind of in a property that has a whole bunch of land around it. Well, as you would expect, that's kind of a stupid statement, but all wooded. So there's just animals generally, and not, there are people in this area, but not where they're like right next door screaming and yelling. So, okay, let's get into what the topic's really is going to be. Sergeant Stubby. Sergeant Stubby, a Boston Terrier mix. Now, that's a hell of a mix. I get it, and it's hard to say what other mix is involved in this, but look at him. Isn't he cool? Okay. He became one of the most famous dogs in American military history due to his remarkable service during World War I. Here's a detailed look at his history. And you know, again, I use GPT to basically pull my information. And, you know, I know you got to be careful, especially if it's critical information, of ensuring that it's accurate. But, you know, when you're pulling history related to in this case, an animal that was, in the World War I, which was around 1918, plus or minus, and they've got to pull his information. And, it's not that you're going to find this information. But the good news is I have it where, the history, I've never had any problem pulling the facts. And I know they're not made up or whatever, but anyway. Okay, Stubby's earlier life. Stubby was a stray dog found in Yale University campus in New Haven, Connecticut in 1917. He was adopted by Private J. Robert Conroy, who was training with the 102nd Infantry Regiment, part of the 26th Yankee Division. Yeah, I'm a Yankee. I'm originally from Rhode Island. That's New England, and we're Yankees. Conroy named him Stubby due to his short, stubby tail. Hey, whatever works. His contribution in heroics. Stubby participated in 17 battles and 4 offensives during his 18 months on the front lines. He served in some of the most intense combat zones, including the Second Battle of Marne and the Meuse, Argonne Offensive. Wow. Why do they name some of these things? Okay, Stubby had an acute sense of smell. In other words, he smelled as typically dogs do. And the theory is, I always get an itchy nose when I'm doing this. Is that some sign? Anyway, the fact with animals, the longer the nose, don't quote me, the better their smell. Now, my little Jamie has a little short nose. She can smell better than I can, but probably not as well as Stubby did. Okay, his sense of smell allowed him to detect mustard gas. Now, I know I bring in additional facts as I go through this. If you remember through history, Hitler, in essence, had a mustard gas problem where he unfortunately had and breathed in a lot of mustard gas. And obviously, gas warfare is terrible. And you wonder why, and you get into somebody's history. Could that been one reason why Hitler turned into, I guess you might say, a monster? The neatest thing with Stubby, he could smell mustard gas and probably made sure he warned people and also got away from it. He would alert the soldiers by running through the trenches, barking and nipping at them to wake them up and make them put on their gas masks. Stubby had a keen sense for locating wounded soldiers. He would bark to alert medics or lead them to the injured, providing crucial assistance in the chaos of battle. I mean, really, unbelievably amazing. Okay, now talking about a capture of a spy. In a famous incident, Stubby captured a German spy attempting to map out Allied trenches. Stubby bit and held the spy until the American soldiers arrived, earning him a promotion to sergeant, a rank that made him the first dog to be given a rank in the U.S. Armed Forces. After the war, he returned to the U.S. And he came and was brought home with Conroy. He was celebrated as a hero and became a national icon. Stubby participated in numerous parades and met U.S. Presidents, actually 3, Woodrow Wilson, Calvin Coolidge, and Warren G. Harding. He was also awarded several medals for his service, including a gold medal from the Humane Society. Okay, in association with Georgetown University, Conroy attended Georgetown University Law Center after the war, and Stubby became the school's unofficial mascot, attending football games and boosting morale. I mean, you know, if you're feeling bad on the football field and you're not doing well, and you look at Stubby, and Stubby's saying, "Come on, hey, we're here for you." They say, well, let's try a little harder, and let's get that tackle. Let's get that pass, catch the pass. Okay, unfortunately, these all have come to an end. Stubby passed away in 1926. His remains were preserved and mounted and was displayed in the Smithsonian, where he remains a symbol of loyalty, bravery of military working dogs. In 2018, wow, Stubby's story was adapted into a film, Sergeant Stubby. Makes sense. An American hero, which brought his remarkable contributions to a new generation. And I'm not a new generation, but I'm an old generation. I don't know, but all these animals that I love doing and learning about them is just wonderful. Now, memorials and tributes. A statue of Stubby is displayed at the Liberty Memorial in Kansas City, Missouri, part of the National World War I Museum. His preserved remains and military honors can be seen at the Smithsonian Institution's National Museum of American History. And again, you go through these. I don't know if I'll be in Washington anytime soon, but certainly I would do my best to make sure I go see Stubby's memorial. Sergeant Stubby's extraordinary service during World War I and his enduring legacy highlight the important role animals have played in human history, and particularly in times of conflict. I mean, my Jamie gets afraid of thunder and lightning, and I understand that. But I bet you 10 to 1, if she had to go out in it to help someone, she would still do that. We don't make her do that, and, we help her get through being afraid of not knowing what that big crack of thunder is. But, luckily they don't last too long. His story continues to inspire and reminds us of bravery and loyalty of our animal companions. So, that's the story of Stubby. And, whoops, I don't mean to have Mickey Mouse behind me, but anyway, let me fix this. Since this is live, I can fix it. Right, I can fix. There we go. Okay. Jeez. I know you're saying, are you ever going to get good at this? Well, every day you get a little bit better, and you keep trying. But anyway, it's a pleasure you being here. It's a pleasure my being here. Every day I say, thank you, I'm here. And I want to thank you. And the one thing I'm working on as part of this is having where I add live chat. And it's like with anything, you want to make sure you stay on top of your content, but still making improvements and not messing it up. Because when you're live, because you saw me just fix something live. Can you go back and edit a live presentation? On YouTube, kinda, but it's not where you'd say if something is terribly wrong, there's no audio or whatever. You basically have to, and what I do is I immediately after I finish, because it's being fed up to YouTube anyway, I go in and delete it. So I try to catch it before I get in trouble. One the other day, I've got Rode wireless equipment, not sponsored, and the mic's here, the little receiver is down here, and I noticed when I finished a 40-minute live that I hadn't actually connected the two. It was sitting over on my desk here. Yes, did you get audio? Yes. Was it wonderful audio? No. What I did is I ate some lunch, I came back and just did it over again. But I didn't delete it that time because, again, I thought I had at the end, I talked about some generator stuff. And, I'm a generator company besides a content creator. And, the biggest thing I'm doing now is solar generators, EcoFlow. And the biggest thing is you have to rely on your own resources for your own power, in my opinion. Because the fact that for over 100 years we've had electric equipment sitting up on wooden poles makes absolutely no sense. It's right out in the weather, storms, static electricity, the heat. It makes no sense. And what I see with FPL, I'm sorry, I'm not picking on FPL, they have these commercials that are like, we're here, we're fixing everything, we're doing everything to make sure you're gonna be all set when we get hit with this bad storm. Well, guess what? Anytime the wind gets to 40 miles an hour, they won't even come out. And transformers blow up. So there's no backup unless you have your own backup. So it's kind of one of those things. Don't blame everybody else and make sure you have what you need to take care of you and your family. Thank you. I'll stop talking now. I was away yesterday, and I guess it's kind of like I missed it, and I want to keep talking. But I know you've had enough. Thank you. Take care.